I've come across people who, like the lady said earlier, who cashed in all of her pension with the idea of taking out a property. It's just the most ridiculous way of doing things, really, because you're just giving money to a tax man, because you're paying the most amount of tax, and then taking out a rented property, you're paying tax on that as well. And it's only your own personal private property that is you can hand in to your next of kin. I mean, pensions are just fantastic ways of saving. And then touching on the guy who said that his father died, and the money just went into a black hole. Now pension freedom, you can pass it on to your children, and they can have the money. So it's an inheritance.
Oh, is that Andy? Yeah.
Well.
Yeah. When did that come into effect?
It came into effect about 2 years ago.
Well,
so anything you put into a pension now, you can pass on to your children.
Yeah, go on, Andy.
My father died in August 2015, and we were told by our solicitor that none of that is passable. So
was it? I mean, getting into technicalities. I mean, there's final salary or money purchase. If it's a final salary scheme, it would pass on to his spouse.
Divorce,
and then if he's not married, then yeah, it's down to the trustees of the scheme. It's their discretion. But typical money purchase where you take it out with a Aviva or Standard Life or one of these big companies. There's lots of them out there. You can pass it on to your children. It's just a fantastic way. And I don't subscribe to the rhetoric that it's really just with pension freedom to really just the government trying to generate more tax, because they're trying to encourage people. The worry before about putting money into a pension was that it dies with you. Now it doesn't. Now you can do whatever you want. You can treat it as a bank account. You can take out little bits every single year.
Yeah, the government also did it as a cheap headline in the budget as well.
Yeah, absolutely. But what they're trying to do is trying to remove the state dependency. What you see a lot of people is they're not planning for their future, and they're thinking that the state pension is going to save them.
Which it isn't. And when I say cheap headline, I mean inexpensive. But listen, did you hear Andy earlier on when he said pensions are a waste of time? Did you, Andy? Say it one more time, please.
I shouted at the radio when I heard that.
Right, Andy, say it one more time. Go on.
I still believe that pensions are a waste of time, even though what the financial advisors said.
What would you consider to be not a waste of time?
Something when you're
saving for yourself. It's saving for yourself.
Saving for myself, I would probably look to go into property investment, and then have that, or pay off my mortgage.
And what happens if there's a property crash? What would happen then? Then you got lots of people in negative equity having to sell stuff and getting to massive amounts of debt.
And what happens if the government or your pension provider change the rules after you've been paying into it for years, and then all of a sudden you lose money? Or
how would you lose money? Because it's always going to be there. It's held in trust for you. It's not owned by anybody else.
Unless you're divorced and you're in a pension provider where the trustees can make the decision, but they choose not to release any of it because obviously that will lose them money.
That's the final salary scheme, and you can now transfer it into a money purchase scheme. There's so much flexibility. I guess what you need to do is to talk to someone, because the misconceptions in this area are just huge, and it's quite scary that people think that
personal experience.
It's so scary, because you can move it into a money purchase, your own personal pension.
But Andy's philosophical position is also that I'm going to bring in. Let me see now. I've got to bring in Simon and Barry as well. Hello, Simon, and we'll come to you in just 1 second. And also Gareth, hopefully. Andy's philosophical position is you could go under a bus at any time, so live a little, enjoy life, and
Oh, absolutely.
Here's the man. Here's Simon.
Well, you're saying, funny you should say about going under a bus. We went backpacking in December for our 50th year and nearly died in Thailand. So we came back, made some...
What happened?
We came off a motorbike and hit a big pothole, and luckily we didn't go under the truck next to us. We just missed it. So both ended up in
How was the hospital out there?